So my name is Vineet Singhal. I am the country head for Shire in India. I'm based out of Delhi. So in India, there are globally there are more than 7,000 rare diseases. Um, in India also, a lot of patients suffer from rare diseases. Um, from a from a rare disease burden perspective, currently the awareness in India on rare diseases is still very limited, and the diagnostic rates are also very limited, and hence we really cannot say how much is a rare disease burden, but we do know that more than 70 million people in India are suffering from various kinds of rare diseases. So the challenges from a patient point of view, the number one challenge is the awareness of the rare disease in the healthcare system, among the treaters, and then it comes to the diagnosis. So the biggest challenge, I would say, from a patient perspective is the diagnosis of the rare disease, because currently they keep getting treated for symptomatic symptoms, etc., but there is no proper diagnosis which is available in the country. The government is doing a pretty good job in terms of the awareness as well as on the access for these rare disease therapies. Recently, there was a rare disease policy which was approved by the central government, within which they have talked about allocating almost 100 crores of funding for genetic disorders like LSDs, which excludes actually hemophilia and some of the other blood disorders which are actually getting funded for the last 10 years in the country. So the policy talks about treatment protocol, the policy talks about how states would be funding part of this and part of the funding would come from the central government. So the government is taking some steps. Lot of work still needs to be done in terms of the actual implementation of this policy at a ground level, because health is still a state subject in India. So it still remains to be seen how this policy will get implemented at the state level. But I think the government is making very bold and significant steps for the treatment of rare diseases in India. So the government in India, as I said before, is doing a lot in the rare disease space, especially in the last one year. We have seen state like Karnataka actually coming up with the first ever tender for the treatment of LSDs for the patients in the state of Karnataka. That was a tender which was issued in the month of November, and today they are treating almost 10 to 12 patients suffering from various types of lysosomal storage disorders through their enzyme replacement therapies which are today available in the country. So we believe this is a pioneering step by a state like Karnataka, which can now be copied and replicated across many other states for these patients who are living across the country. PPPs, in my view, is a fundamental change that can bring about in the treatment of rare diseases in the country, because rare disease, unlike the other diseases, the challenge starts, as I said before, from a awareness point of view, from a diagnosis point of view. So if there are public-private partnerships that can address these early stage challenges with respect to rare disease therapy and treatment, a PPP model can actually do a fantastic job in the holistic care from a patient point of view. So Shire globally is a world's leading player in the treatment of patients with suffering from rare diseases as well as special conditions. We have actually a broad portfolio of products in hematology, which is the hemophilia product range, in immunology, which has albumin as well as immunoglobulins, oncology, hereditary angioedema, LSDs, the genetic disorders like LSDs, as well as in gastrointestinal disorders. So we are a company which is focused on rare diseases, and our pipeline of the future, the R&D pipeline, is also focused on rare diseases. We have more than 40 projects in R&D pipeline, and more than 80% of these projects are actually focused on rare diseases. So we are actually one of the leading players in the rare disease area. In India specifically, currently we are focused on treating hemophilia. We have been providing products. We have the entire basket of hemophilia products, right from hemophilia A, hemophilia B, as well as inhibitor therapy. We have the entire range of plasma derived products, as well as third generation recombinant products in the hemophilia range, and we are actually a market leader in the hemophilia treatment in India. In addition to hematology, we also have immunology, where we supply high quality albumin for needy patients in the country. Going into the future, we intend to bring many more rare disease therapies in the country, where there is a huge unmet need among the patients. So Shire and Baxalta merger combination has been a very bold and transformative step in the journey of Shire in the rare disease space. Now, as a combined entity, we are more than a $12 billion company focused on rare diseases. The combination was highly complementary from a portfolio point of view and also from a geographical presence point of view. And we are leveraging the legacy Shire, the legacy Baxalta portfolio in different markets depending upon the heritage where it comes from. So for example, in India, the genetic diseases like LSD portfolio was not present, but with this combination now we intend to launch these therapies hopefully very, very soon in the marketplace, which is a huge unmet need today for the Indian patients. So in future, we are, as I said before, we intend to come into genetic disease space area even in a stronger manner. We are looking at LSDs, which are lysosomal storage disorders. Today, there's a huge unmet need. For example, there's a disease area called Hunter syndrome. Today, there is no therapy available in the country. We intend to bring in the therapy which is needed by these little children who are suffering from this genetic disorder. We intend to come in with transformative therapies in the oncology portfolio. We have an amazing therapy in the oncology area, which is for acute lymphoblastic leukemia. So we want to bring in all these amazing therapies into the country, which is needed for our patients here.